Do you have a movement in mind, but no idea how to organize it, fund it, or make it truly collective? Maybe it's a community garden, a coral reef project, or a cause close to your heart. But organizing trust, money, and people, that part's hard. Now you can bring it to life with SUDAO. SUDAO helps you launch your own community-owned organization. Fully transparent, fully yours. As simple as describing your mission and you're already building a community. You can preview your collective, make edits on the fly, and customize how your community will vote, contribute, and grow. And with Web3 and the Internet Computer Protocol (ICP), your organization runs fully on-chain, fast, affordable, and unstoppable. Our developer team will bother you with the details.
So we are okay. So we are from SUDAO team. Currently, we will work to our code, which is consists of the backend and also the front end side. And for backend itself, we have SUDAO backend, which is the main entry point for our DAO governance. So we have something like management for DAO itself, which have the controllers, and we also want to initialize the DAO itself, and then we can get the DAO information like the name and the description, and also we can have like some middleware like is creator and also like function like who am I for debugging. And we also have user management, which will store our user profile for each principal. And then we also have treasury, which will manage the transaction of our DAO. And then also we have the token swap management. So we basically have, for each DAO, we will have a token which can be swapped with other ECRC or Ledger compatible, which basically user can stake their own currency to get the token for each of our DAO. And then we also have function like register and then also get a profile for user management. And we also have for proposal, and then we also have the upgrade for stable memory. And then yeah, for proposal itself, maybe can be explained by Austin.
Okay, let's jump into the proposal part. So, yep, on proposal.mo. So here, on the proposal itself has a lot of type, but on the main.mo, we'll show more about the create draft proposal. So when it goes live, the first idea born is a member to create draft function, the proposal to write up their proposal. So it start as a draft, so there's no pressure and they can perfect it later. After that, the next one is when it goes live, people can use publish proposal to make it active and officially start the voting clock for the whole community of that proposal. Next, we have a function that vote on proposal. So basically, it comes to the vote. So member can cast yes or no using the vote function. The key feature is the weighting voting. So the function looks like a voters token balance. So voting power is based on your stake in the DAO environment. So more token means more powerful vote. So next one is the finalized proposal. So after the deadline, we get the result using the finalized proposal and the execute proposal. So here's a lot of the handling of the proposal, including the funding and disbursement of the everything that has been told before on the proposal itself. Yep, more likely it looks like about the proposal, and there's also some of the utils like we can add a comment in the below and also reaction, and we can also get some utils about get proposals, list proposal, and list proposal by status. So it's more likely a helpful function to improve the usability. It's more likely about the data structure. So the proposal status has a draft in the beginning until so on, and also lots and lots of type of the proposal itself, as you can see here.
Okay, thank you, Austin. So next one is treasury management. So this will basically related to the treasury for the balance. So when we deposit, then we can know the transaction for each deposit from the swap itself. And then we can also get the transaction history. and also research for proposal. And we also have something like initialize the token swap, and also adding the quote for ECP to token. So basically like swapping and how many quote will be for each ECP amount. And then we can also swap tokens for ISCP, and likewise. And we also can add the liquidity for the swap, and also exchange rate, liquidity pool, and also swap history, and so on. So so the last one will be create proposal and proposal, like Austin already explained. Okay, so the next one is that SUDAO IMM is basically how the transfer and the swap itself will work. So implementation is basically in here for the swap, and SUDAO backend will eventually call the SUDAO IMM to manage the swap token mechanism. And lastly, we also have like SUDAO BA Explorer, which is managing the listing of the DAO itself. So in here, we can have like DAO manager, which is storing all of the DAO entry, like information of each DAO, and it can also like update the status of deployment itself. So we also have a deployment manager, which can deploy the DAO asynchronously. So then later the user can check the status of the deployment itself, which we can see in the main itself. There are like setting the WASM code for the DAO itself, and then we can also add DAO, get, list, and also get the canister for each DAO, and then also like system info for the stats itself. Okay, later we can go to the front end. So front end will be explained by Leon.
Okay, for the front end side, I'm gonna explain. So for the tech stack, I'm using React TypeScript, and for the design, I'm using Tailwind CSS and Shutdown UI for the component base, and Framework Motion for the animation. So as you can see here, there are some project structure start from assets, components, constant, context, lib, mux, and many others. And I'm gonna just show like for the assets folder, there will be like some assets needed, like the image or the relevant logos or many others. And for the components is what is actually loaded on the main page, such as like the authentication, and then dynamic navbar, and then footer, and many others. Also, there is also some constant and context which gonna be used on the application. So for the constant, I define some relevant things that can be accessed. Also for the context, and other than that, I also have the libraries which will load it or installed in the applications. For the pages, we already implement some relevant pages. So okay. We also have like the home page and then the proposal, start from the proposal creation, details, list, and also for the transaction pages. So for the proposal, it will mount like architecture for index.tsx, where it shows like the page itself and then the state management, and also for the main code implementation. Also, other than that, it also have the header and footer that I already mentioned at the component base. And after all the pages, I also have the routes, which will basically route each component or pages relevant to what it gonna be accessed by the user, like the home page and then proposal, transaction, and many others. Also, in order to make the development easier and not become repetitive, I also have types and utilities. So if that types is being used on the multiple files, I just need to define it once and access it from anywhere. Maybe that's the project structure. Also for the package.json and tailwind.css, I'll actually like make the setup more personalized to our application color palette. Other than that, also install some components from Shutdown UI, and you can see it under the UI folder on component folder. Maybe that's all from the front end side. I'm gonna give it back to backend.
Okay, I think that's all from our team. Thank you for listening.
Go to SUDAO and turn your mission into a movement. SUDAO, from community energy to collective action.